So here's something fun. If you look up at the top of the tower and look at the two clock faces in the corner of the observation deck, it kind of looks like an owl, right? Can you see the owl face? Ooh, ooh. There's also a 56 bell carillon up there at the top, and music students from the music school here on campus will play the carillon sometimes, and sometimes it's some really good music coming out of there. But some of the details here on the side of the building that I'd like to discuss. So if you look at the motifs here, you have, I want to believe, 15 or 16 different emblems of universities from around the world. You have the seal of the University of Mexico, the oldest university in North America. You have the University of Oxford, University of Paris, and so on and so on. And you also see some names up here, Homer, Herodotus, Aristotle, Cicero, Virgil, and so on. I believe the only American author is Mark Twain. He's on the other side of the building. But again, these motifs, these terracotta emblems of great universities from around the world. And these names of great authors. You can tell that the university was really aspiring and wishing to become just as great as all these centuries-old great universities of Europe, and to reach the same level and heights of culture and knowledge. I mean, again, very formal, very European, and quite an aspiration for dusty provincial 1930s Texas. It's great to think about. And again, with the Spanish Renaissance palazzo style, you have the bracketed cornice, which, as you know by now, I'm in love with. I love a good bracketed cornice. This looks very appealing to me. And here's something interesting. You see this motif there. That's called an aedicule, and it's an ancient Roman motif. In ancient Rome, they would have these in their homes and temples, and there would be, pagan gods, inside there to give protection and give blessings. And the Roman Catholic Church inherited this, and they'd put saints, and they'd put, Jesus, and they'd put Mary and so on in there. And now you kind of see the return of the aedicule as a secular decoration on a university library building. And underneath it, you have this very powerful looking symbol of American government, even, the eagle. And you can see that it's a much more secular, much more state oriented style here, as opposed to what the aedicule was used for in the past, which is something much more spiritual. And even, of course, all the details that came from ancient Greek and Roman temples and so on. These were places of spirituality and religion, and now you have a much more secular, state-focused place, which is another detail that's interesting to think about. But as we go around the tower here in the main building, there is another detail I would like to discuss. On the bottom side of the tower here, kind of the lower portion, there is a series of alphabets, 5 different alphabets. There is Latin, there's Greek, there's Hebrew, there's Phoenician, there's Egyptian hieroglyphs. And it's quite interesting. It's one of my favorite details of the main building in the tower. And again, this symbolism, I think it was really meant to, represent the character of the university. That the letters on the tower should be understood as an attempt to show the intellectual prominence of the university. That it would really you know, give a message about the aspirations of the university. Because I think at the time, you know, keep in mind Texas was so different, so there was so much aspirational symbolism in these buildings, and this building in particular was supposed to be the main focal point of the entire university. And if you see here, you can see the Hebrew, the Greek, Phoenician, the Latin, the Egyptian, and I believe there is a restoration progress, or project, I should say, in motion right now, tens of millions of dollars. It hasn't started yet, but I'm sure they're going to restore these letters here. I really hope so, because they've gotten quite rusty. I think they're going to clean them up and maybe reapply the gold leaf to them. I would like to see that happen. It certainly needs it. And yeah, if you look at the layout of the building, when it was, you know, a library, and how it was designed to be a library is quite interesting as well. You have two big reading rooms on each side. Here's a big reading room, there's another big reading room, and what would have been down here would have been a massive card catalog that students and scholars and so on could come in, choose what books they need. And as the story goes, there was librarians, you know, positioned all throughout the tower where all the stacks of books would be, and they would get the message somehow, I don't know, from the bottom what books to pick out, and they would send them down through kind of an elevator system. And I believe that worked for a while, but I mean, yeah, it wasn't sustainable for very long, but I wish I could have seen it when it was like that. There is still some very grand reading rooms on the inside. I'll see if I can get inside and get some video of that, but yeah, it's just, it's flanked by two big reading rooms, and that's how it would have worked back in the day.